Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are having an extra long, super duper sized episode. That's right. I think it's like almost 2.5 hours, something like that, of content coming your way. I'm excited to bring you this one. I really enjoy doing the question and answers. If you haven't seen one of those, usually it's from Quora, but sometimes it's from you all. Just looking up the questions basically that the internet has on Meghan and Harry and talking through the answers. It's not that I have the answers, it's just interesting to compare notes with you guys, see what our answers are to these questions, and kind of usually it brings up interesting topics, whether it's horrible fashion choices to horrible life choices. You know, there's always something to talk about with these two. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this supersized episode. A lot of you have really responded positively when I do these compilations. So if you make it to the end, let me know in the comments because I want you to know how much that means to me to watch this stuff. I put in a lot of work, so it feels so good to know that people are enjoying it and watching it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's get into this. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're taking a look at fashion. You know I love doing these. These are just so much fun to me. We look at Quora, which is like an online question and answer situation, and boy, do the answers get fun. People answer questions about Meghan's terrible fashion choices, and I chime in with my own answers, and I can't wait to read your answers in the comments. So let's take a look at what people are asking now about Meghan Markle and her interesting choices, shall we say. And also, look at me. Does Meghan Markle have unique style and fashion choices when compared to other royals? Pfft, come on. Allow me to recommend this video to you. It's one that I made a little while back. It's under Meghan Markle Fashion Fails. And it's where I showed Catherine and Meghan at the same events in completely different outfits, and just it kind of highlights how wrong Meghan seems to get everything, and it's fun to watch. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. So again, the question was her unique style and fashion choices compared to other royals, and Julie right off the bat says, nope, she's very sloppy looking. To which I say, honk honk, you must be an honorary drunk goose. Yeah, she is very sloppy looking, and I mean, I've been able to make so many videos of messy because of it. So thank you for always being messy. No, she really is. We talk about it all the time. It was the worst. She never dresses great, but it seemed to be the height of all-time awfulness when she was actually a member of the royal family, you know, for those 72 engagements. But yeah, woo, she must have been involved in some sort of bet or something. So in regards to her unique style, this person says, yeah, she does. It's called trash. Okay. So when I read this, I laughed and thought of this outfit because it always kind of looks like it's sponsored by Hefty and diapers. Unique is one word for it. She has all this money, yet nothing she wears fits her properly. Yeah, which I read into that as 0 Fs were given. When she had the height of her money and access to things, I would say when she was, you know, a member of the royal family, 72 engagements, she had access to everything. And yet these are some of the looks we got from her. Yikes. How many times has Meghan Markle's fashion gone wrong? Oh boy, we might be here for a little while. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to take this one or did you want me to answer? Me? Oh, okay. Let me just tell you. She gets it wrong every single time. Every single time. I've never seen her get it right. Okay, I think in another video I talked about like 2 outfits that weren't as bad. But all of these are examples of some of the worst. God, there's so many. So many. Guys, while I got you here, there's something else we need to talk about. Don't think I've ever talked about it in a video. I talked about it on Patreon, but I haven't done it over here. I don't have enough to make a full video out of, but I would like to go ahead and talk about this. What's going on with this? No, seriously, what's happening here? Does anybody want to tell her? Your makeup's all a little smeared. Now, one of you very brilliant people, I wish I had your username in front of me. I don't. had this idea that you think that she and Harry both always look messy and rumpled. So you think, ooh, they just did the hippity dippity, right? And so they had that sexy look. No, I mean, yes, you're probably right, but no, they've missed the mark big time. And I thought, well, maybe she was going that way and trying to be messy with her makeup too. I don't know what's going on. So Debbie says every time she goes out, her clothes never fit her right. She dresses for the body she wishes she had instead of the one she actually has. She's built like, you guys, I'm so sorry. She's built like SpongeBob SquarePants, a square boxy body with skinny bony legs and big feet. All right, so I'm not here to talk about anybody's body. I don't think that's cool. But I will talk about what a terrible dresser she is and how she doesn't dress for her body shape. Yeah, I think it just goes to the overall messy. Sorry, I almost said it wrong. The overall messy look of it. Always just a wrinkled mess, and there's just no reason for it. There's no excuse. There's no reason. I mean, most of us wouldn't show up in our, whatever, Target, wherever you shop, Banana Republic, whatever, wardrobe, to our jobs like this. I just can't even imagine showing up as a member of the royal family like this. It truly baffles me and blows my mind. Said it in a different video, but it still applies, which is she must have some sort of magic mirror because, or voices in her head, I'm not sure, because she looks at herself and says, dang, I look good, Whereas mine is the opposite kind of mirror where I look at myself and go, oh my gosh, what is happening today? What am I wearing? What am I doing? What is this? She seems to have the opposite problem. It would be easier to count the fingers on one hand when her fashion had gone right. Yeah, same. I talk about this in another video as well. Somebody had asked, or several of you had asked, is there any time you feel like she got it right? I put up my examples. I'll put them back up here in case you guys want to talk about it real quick. So I talked about this one before. I do like this dress. This is by Halo, I think you guys said in the comments. I like the asymmetrical neckline. I don't like the belt up under her boobs again, but I think she just likes to do that. I don't know. I would wear the belt a little lower, but I think it's a pretty dress, and I actually like the shoes she's wearing it with it too. I like the blue dress she wore here. I'm partial to blue, so anything blue usually catches my eye, so I do like the shades of blue. I would totally wear this dress. And then I just found this one. I don't even know when or where this is from, but I found this picture. This is the dress. I'd have to see it standing up. She probably belted up under the tits. I don't know, but I like this dress. I'm not even a huge green fan, but I'm drawn to this green, and I like there's actually that keyhole neckline I kind of like. I don't understand putting purple pumps with it. Maybe I'm not fashionable enough, but I don't get that at all. But I don't hate this dress. So there's 3 examples. See, I'm not biased. I just hate most of her clothes. Pretty much 99% of her clothes, all but these 3. 100% of the time she wears any piece of clothing, even when she tries to copy Catherine, it's a disaster. Her choices do not complement her figure at all. You guys, my favorite example of this is to show you, I believe these were worn a month apart. Catherine wore hers to the Top Gun premiere first, and then Meghan's was soon after, and oh boy, did it go wrong. All right, here's Catherine. God, I love this dress so much. I mean, I love her, but this dress, it's gorgeous. Talk about a statement dress. Woo, looking good. Okay, I'm fawning over Catherine. Look how beautiful. Love it so much. Love the white detail around the shoulder. She looks great. Radiant, right? Absolutely gorgeous. And then not quite the same effect. So this is a jumpsuit. This is a choice. There's a cutout in the back. It's not good. It's not good. And then Lisa says, whenever she's left the house or yacht, LOL. Whoopsies. What are the most inappropriate clothes Meghan Markle has ever worn in public? Oh, so many fun answers for this one. You know what immediately springs to my mind? This one. Are they on vacation at the beach, you ask? Oh, no, they're on a royal tour. They're actually on royal duties. And yes, sometimes you see them dressed down for things, like meet and greets and stuff. But never seen this on at a royal at a royal duty. That's a lot we're seeing there, huh? Okay. This person answers every single thing. She has no sense of the decorum required for special occasions. Ding, ding, ding. Meghan fancies herself a movie star, so she always dresses to attract as much attention as she can to pose and paste on her permanent smile, despite the occasion. Plus, she thinks she has a great body, so always chooses clothes that emphasize her thick, high waist and spindle legs. This woman desperately, let me put a point on that, needs a stylist. Now, what? That's my pretend shock voice. Why would they say such a thing? What? Oh, yeah, you can see it in the picture here. You guys, this is the one I called the crumpled up piece of shit because it is. It's a crumpled up piece of bubble gum, I guess. It's not good. And yeah, everything that person said, you can see right here in this picture. Enjoy. Question: what was Meghan Markle's boldest public appearance? Answer: trotting down the aisle, swathed in virginal white for her third marriage on the arm of Prince Charles, when she had a living father who was conveniently not invited. All right, this answer has me cracking up. I love it so much. And you know what haunts my nightmares? These two pictures right here. This picture I'm showing you and this one. Absolutely haunts my nightmares. It's very much, look at me. But also, it's finding the camera. It's being smug. But it's kind of that cat that swallowed the canary, right? Very proud of herself. And then her favorite, which is that coquettish thing where she like, ooh, me, and covers her mouth and stuff. But then here she's winking. I find that so weird. If I found pictures of Jay winking in our wedding photos, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? Did you have something in your eye? What's happening? But she looks like she got away with something, and I guess she kind of did here. Wow, we found somebody that doesn't like her more than us? Possibly. I don't know if that's possible. Here we go. Mistress California Mountbatten Windsor, maybe soon to be Spencer, epitomizes superficial. Everything about her is superficial. Every word she utters is superficial. This person really likes the word superficial. Every trend upon which she leaps is purely superficial on her part. She bounces from here to there, to somewhere, then elsewhere, leaving nothing of substance behind. I mean, this person isn't wrong, but this was in the fashion section of these questions, so I found it very funny, so I just wanted to include it. So there you go. If it's one of you that wrote it, well, honk honk, you drunk goose. I love it. And then this person asks, does Meghan Markle have a pretty waistline? All right, I know that's a rough question. I don't like to go there either. But there were some funny responses to it. That's what I'm getting at. Again, I'll make fun of her lack of fashion choices all day long. I'm not into talking about like body stuff. Okay, and then this person replies, she does not appear to have a waistline. That could be because of her terrible choice of clothes. Or it could be she has a square figure. Yee. I would just say it's time to move past the boat neck. The boat neck doesn't help. And I love a boat neck, but this isn't it. Gotta move past the trench dress. Oh my God. That girl loves trench anything. If it's got 2 rows of buttons, she's all for it. Ugh. Then this person writes, actually, she looks like a bag lady. No matter how many thousands of dollars in flash she wears, but I must say the puke green dress was one of the worst. Oh, you mean this one? Super Kermit. I can't take credit for the Kermit thing. I think HG Tudor calls her that, but it just fits so well. It's not easy being green. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I agree. This is one of the worst. And honestly, at this angle, it's better than the others. Allow me. Here's the view from the front. Hello, strapless bra. I see you. You're looking at me. I'm looking at you. Oh my goodness. This is proof right here that her stylist hates her or that she doesn't have one. But I remember seeing this, I think in the Netflix. I've watched so much crap. The Netflix one maybe, where the woman was like draping it on her while she was whining about whatever she was whining about at the moment. And here we are at the back, you guys. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand how you see this and go, yeah, Yeah, I look really good. It's really bad. Okay. I don't normally talk like or talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it. You can see her underwear line, right? I mean, that's you guys see that too? Her bra was staring at me. Now her underwear is staring at me and I feel very uncomfortable. No, but it's not good. It's really not. It pulls in all the wrong places. Again, I don't care what her body is. I'm just saying she picks the complete wrong outfits. I don't know how you see this and go, yeah, I look good. I want to look like I got caught in a door and that it pulled the fabric and that I'm choking on this cape. It's pulling my neck. What are some fashion accidents that Meghan Markle has experienced? Ooh, is that a nicer way of saying it? Like she accidentally put on that stupid green outfit? Okay, this person replies, the white linen dress with the package folds still in it, I'm guessing from where she had it shipped, I don't know, appears to have been no accident. Someone just doesn't know that linen needs to be ironed. You guys, I forgot about this stupid dress. We've seen it before. It's real bad. I understand she's just out running errands, but it's real bad. All right. This person says you're joking, right? She has no fashion sense whatsoever. Her clothes are either way too big and baggy or too tight and mismatched. And I thought, you know what? They make such a good point. That's exactly what it is. We're never Goldilocks, right? It's never just right. It's too big or it's too small. Yeah. It's never altered right. So here you go. Too big, and too big. And then at other events, you just see like it's way too small. The top's way too small. It's actually pulling at the fabric. It's too small. It doesn't make any sense. And then the mismatch thing. This is all I could think of when I saw the mismatch thing. Different color whites on the shirt and the skirt. And again, belted under the boobs. I can't with that. But I've gone in on this outfit. I hate this outfit so much. She learned one trick from Suits about a white shirt and she just wore it all the time for no reason. But yeah, mismatched clothes. And then she went the extreme opposite and went matchy-matchy and looked like the Joker. Don't you worry, she fixed it all in one dress. My favorite, you guys. She got all of it in one dress. Think about it. Too loose in parts, too tight in parts, too little fabric in parts, too much fabric in other parts. Hey, at least the thing matches itself, even though she was not supposed to wear this color. Yeah, she managed to pull off all of them in one dress. Congratulations. That takes talent. Oh my goodness, you guys, it actually stresses me out when I see this dress. It does. It gives me anxiety. It flares up my anxiety. It's just so much. It's so much going on here, right? And then the spray tan. Oh, I've said it before. It's weaponized spray tan at this point. It really is. So much going on. So smug. Oh, the smugness. Man, I wish I had, I don't know, a fraction of her smugness. I'd feel much better. I mean, I'd be delusional, but I'd be much better. Oh, goodness. Woo! This dress will never not be funny to me. I said in a different video, I will be wearing this dress to a meet and greet with you guys. I just need to make it out of construction paper and some, I don't know, those craft noodles and some hot glue. I'm not sure. It'll be fun, though. I look forward to that. Oh, man, you guys. This was so much fun. I love doing these fashion ones. They really crack me up. I get to laughing so hard. I really like. I'll sit here. These videos take so much longer than the regular ones, but I don't care. I love them because I just find myself laughing and Googling. Like I'll get ideas in my head of what photos I want to pull, and then I sit here and I laugh and I Google as I go back through the horrible clothes. And again, 72 engagements. That's all we're talking. So it's not like there's a billion to choose from. She just chose wrong every single time. Meghan's fashion choices. So I thought, you know what? Let's do some more of that because I really am enjoying deep diving it, discussing it, talking about it with you guys in the comments. So let's take a look at some more fashion failures by Meghan Markle and what the internet is asking about in terms of her fashion decisions, if you can call it that. But thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let's jump right on in. So first up, we have how fashionable would you say Meghan Markle is? Uh-oh. Okay, so I wanted to bring up this person's answer because I think she makes a really good point. It says she used to look better and more fashionable with her time on Suits. She must have had a great stylist then. Her hair, her makeup, her clothing were all on point. Let's take a look. So here she is playing Rachel Zane on Suits. If you ask anyone in her camp, it's the most important role ever. If you ask anybody with half a brain, it's basically a glorified extra. But goodness. Anyway, I've brought this up before. I watched a little bit of Suits, not much. Wasn't a fan, not just because of her, just in general. I just couldn't get into the show. Doesn't matter. But I have noticed this. Yeah, I would definitely say so much more fashionable on Suits, but I have some theories on this. But first, let's take a look at the examples this lady gave of not so fashionable looks. She stopped dressing well as a royal. Not sure what happened there, but her hair looked messy. Her clothes were wrinkled and didn't fit her. Maybe different or no stylist. She looked everything but royal. Here's the examples given. And I think she could have even done better on some of the examples given because these weren't even the worst looks. But yeah, these are pretty bad. I've given it a lot of thought. I've talked about it in other videos. My theory on this is several things. I think on Suits, she had people that she had to listen to. I have heard, we've all heard reports that allegedly her behavior got worse as time went on the set. She was more and more awful, but I'd say probably at the beginning, maybe she pretended like she cared. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. And had to listen to people so other people would dress her. And then I think by the time she got to the royal family, that was that. She didn't need to listen to anybody and was proving it. And then my other theory is I just think she showed a clear lack of respect for anybody in the royal family. And so it manifested in so many ways, from the messy hair, I don't care attitude, to the messy clothes, to the messy behavior. I mean, how many photos of her tongue out have we seen? Does that show that you really care about what you're doing, or that you respect the position or anything? No, it doesn't. So I just think as time went on and she was part of the family, that was just her way of saying, I don't care. I don't care about any of this. I'll try to take you down. Don't worry, So I think that all went hand in hand. Plus just a good old healthy narcissistic, I know better than everybody. I know what looks best kind of thing. So I think it's a lethal combination of all the above. And then this question is, what do you think of Meghan Markle's dress sense? And it looks like Louise answered interesting. And she posted this picture here. I've often talked about this picture as well. This was on duty on a royal tour, and she thought that it was totally appropriate to wear this outfit. Are Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton's wardrobes similar? I know you hate it when we say Kate. Okay, Catherine Middleton's wardrobe similar? Not in the least. Catherine's clothes are neat, beautiful, and fit her perfectly. Then there are Meghan's. Honestly, it goes back to the point I was just making about Meghan and her way of showing she just doesn't care. I feel like it's the opposite with Catherine. Her way of showing how much she cares and respects it is, details like wardrobe and fashion choices and things. And so I just think it shows more about her dedication to all of it, to every aspect of it. And I'm sure it's annoying. I'm sure there are annoying rules that you probably don't want to follow. You probably just want to throw on a pair of jeans sometimes. I get it. I'm saying I truly think that Catherine shows more effort, more thought to the outfits that she chooses. And I think she probably listens to the people around her a bit more. So again, the questions about Meghan and Catherine's wardrobes, are they similar? Sue answers, good grief, no. Catherine is beautiful, classy, and stylish. Amen to that. How are Meghan Markle and Catherine's styles different? Catherine has poise and can wear almost anything, and she always looks great. What I've seen so far of Markle, she has no idea of dress sense. She wears clothes that almost hang off of her and most times looks an utter mess. For some reason, this question was also in the fashion section, but it made me laugh, so I'm including it. What does what does Catherine have but Meghan doesn't? Class, beauty, fashion sense, genuine compassion, style, nice personality, empathy. All excellent answers. What are Meghan Markle's fashion rules for her staff? You guys, Nancy answers, find out what Catherine is wearing and find me something better. Her staff can never win. Okay, since we're talking Catherine and Meghan, I have not talked about this in one of my videos, and it's living rent-free in my head, so I need to talk to you all, my friends, about this. This dress is just so beautiful. It takes my breath away. Haha. It's for the Top Gun premiere, so that made that even funnier. But it really does. It's beautiful. It's one of my all-time favorites of Catherine's. I have talked about this dress before because I love it. But there's something funny that happened just after it. So to put it in perspective, Catherine wore this gorgeous dress May 19th, 2022. So keep that in your head. May 19th, 2022. She wore this dress to the Top Gun Maverick premiere. So then June 20th, so from May 19th to June 20th, this popped up. Meghan was wearing this. You guys, I cannot even. I know the sugars love to say, oh, Catherine's copying Meghan. I'm not even playing the copying game. I'm just saying, like, look at this. This is just a prime example of what a difference, right? Some tailoring makes, the fit makes, all of it makes, some better choices make. I'm sorry, but this is hideous. It's awful. It really is. And I promise you can think whatever. I'm not even talking about her figure. That I don't go there. I'm talking about the cut of this outfit for her is not right. It doesn't look good. It wouldn't look good on me either. But if they're bringing up questions about Catherine and Meghan and that sort of thing and dressing like each other and stuff, this one lives rent-free in my head. It's just awful. How many times has Meghan Markle's fashion gone wrong? Every time? Okay, I promise I didn't read ahead, but Noel writes, nearly every time. In short, usually her clothes do not fit. They're too small, they're too tight, or they're too baggy. She apparently spends a great deal of money on clothes and desires designer labels. However, she does not pay attention to how the clothes look on her. And in fact, they are, if in fact they are eye-pleasing. I can think of the one outfit she wore in the daytime, and that was lovely. The white tailored dress with thin black belt. And the white hat. See, I didn't love that. They're talking about that one she wore. Was it ascot with the black? I hate that. It was the wrinkled t-shirt dress. That was a rare exception to the rule. And the rule is Meghan does not know how to wear clothes in a manner that is flattering to her. By contrast, when has Catherine ever gone in front of cameras in a wrinkly, ill-fitting outfit? I think never is a correct answer. So I haven't switched the picture over on purpose because I'm waiting to show you something. So I've been asked a couple of times, would you ever make a video on things that Meghan wore that you actually liked? And the answer is I can't, because there's really not that many. And I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm saying literally it would be a 3-second video because I just do not get her style, her fashion sense, her spending. I don't understand any of it. There is one dress that comes to mind that I actually really liked of Meghan's. So I'm going to show it to you now. Ready? Here you go. I still don't like that she's belted up under her boobs. It's always so weird to me. But that aside, because it just makes her look boxy. I like the asymmetrical neckline on this thing. I do. I've always noticed it. And I gotta say, for once, her hair actually makes sense here. I think this is the one time where messy kind of was still chic, right? The only other dress I ever saw her wear that I actually liked was this one. And I still think that the tailoring is not right on this thing. You can see it probably, I don't know, it's just not quite exactly the right fit. But that aside, my favorite color is blue. So I think this is really pretty. I like the colors. I would like this dress. But I think she missed the mark on the hair big time there. Which leads me to, what is Meghan Markle's most successful fashion look? Answer: She doesn't have a fashion look, unless you count being messy and frumpy. I've not seen a photo of her that looks amazing. Her hair is messy and or else pulled back so tightly that she's giving herself a facelift. She also has too much makeup on, needs to realize she's not on stage. This person says it'd be easier to count on the fingers of one hand when her fashion hits gone right. Yeah, I think I'm out with just the two. I can't think of anything else that I particularly liked. And then this person, Gia, says, every single thing that creature wears is wrong, with lots of exclamation points. Does Meghan Markle dress well? Let's see. Michael writes, yes, but only if you consider tacky well dressed. Most of us with common sense do not. So no, she doesn't dress well at all. I bet her undies are just as tacky as the rest of her clothes are. Well, I'm not going to go there, but I will say, obviously she has issues with her foundation garment. See picture above. Well, guys, I'm going to end this video here, but before I let you go, I have a little present for you all. When I was doing research for this video and pulling pictures of the worst outfits, you guys, there are more pictures of that awful red dress that I had not seen before. Are you ready for this? Brace yourself. Hold on to something. Just get ready. You guys, I've seen a million pictures of this outfit. I have not seen this picture. I don't know what I'm looking at this angle. Dare I say it looks worse than I've ever seen it. Guys, I've seen a million pictures of this dress. I really have. I've looked at it for an embarrassing amount of time. Something about this picture, it's just even worse. I just can't believe how bad this dress is. I think in the other angles, I don't know. Maybe it just isn't as boxy as it is right here, and the boobs look even weirder. Come on, what am I looking at? What is this? Wow, the people that made this dress really hate her, right? You guys, I cannot even. Anyway, so let's dive right on in. Meghan's got her happy face on and her toilet paper fascinator. So let's take a look at what the internet is talking about. Here we go. Before I forget, tomorrow is Saturday the 20th, and we're doing a live chat. It's 5 p.m. Eastern time. Google what time that is for you. If you're in the UK, it's probably like 10 o'clock. If you're on the East Coast, it's probably like 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock? No, 2 o'clock. So join me then. All you have to do is click on the video that says live chat, and you'll find us. You can type in the comment section, or type in the chat thing rather, and we'll read out your questions and we'll answer them. We'll do giveaways. I'm super excited. So join us for that. All right. So right off the bat, do you think this was another planned event? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle involved in, quote, near catastrophic car chase. Do you guys think that near catastrophic is going to become the new conscious uncoupling thing, where it's like these buzzwords that people start using? Near catastrophic. So this person answers yes. He wants to glean as much attention as he can from his mom. Harry, the pitiful, pathetic slob. Then this person writes, is the Pope Catholic? To bear shit in the woods? This isn't their first rodeo in failing to control fantasy and letting it spill into reality. The whole 2-hour, quote, catastrophic car chase through the streets of New York without hitting one street camera to verify this dreadful event never happened except in their wildest dreams. It was planned, of course, and would actually be funny were it not so utterly pathetic. Ding, 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 we have a winner, or as I look at him, I would say ding dong. He is not a winner, but yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's pathetic. It absolutely is pathetic. It's a lame attempt to garner up attention and sympathy and make themselves victims again and try to get that, the protection that Harry's in court over. And it's just so stupid. And another of the easily verifiable lies that they love to tell. All right, what stunt will Meghan and Harry pull next in their worldwide privacy tour saga? Worldwide privacy tour. I love this answer so much. Leslie writes, well, we've had the racist royals, the burning baby, stolen security, and catastrophic car chase. Maybe next there will be an alien attack. I wish Jay was here to do my Prince Harry voice for me right now. It'd be like, unconscious bias. It's unconscious bias from the aliens. Okay, Is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's car chase a grim reminder of Princess Diana's death? Answer. That's why they set up the whole farce. The NYPD statement is revelatory. It would be impossible to have a 2-hour car chase in the middle of the day in central New York City as much as it would be in London. In both cities, the roads and streets are crowded with vehicles end to end. And there would be news helicopters capturing every moment, let alone bystanders videoing on their phones. No footage has emerged of this dangerous car chase. You guys, people are so painfully stupid. I had to post this one because I find it particularly funny, but I understand it's going to rub some of you the wrong way. So if you're not into it, just skip over it. We can still be friends. It's cool. But let me just read you this. You ready? Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Why did Prince Harry and Meghan Markle only invite Princess Diana's 2 sisters to their wedding, but not Diana herself? Answer. Diana couldn't attend. Being dead is a full-time job with no time off. I know that's fucked up, and I probably shouldn't be laughing, but it's hysterical to me. I swear to God, that must have been written by one of the Sugars. Like, it's so painfully stupid. Okay, question. Why was Prince Harry really afraid that Meghan Markle might experience what Lady Diana experienced? Meghan Markle knew all the right buttons to push to get Harry to do her bidding. She's an actress, after all. And they have ended up back in La La Land with the A-list gang she invited to her wedding for just that reason. The only one who seems oblivious to her scheming is dim Harry. Oh my gosh, that's such a good point. He really is dim, right? I mean, dumb as a box of rocks. But that's such a I don't think I've said it like that, and that really puts it in perspective. Even if he's gullible enough and dumb enough to believe the claims that she made, or to believe his own claims, wouldn't he say, hey, weird, we ended up back in the spot exactly where you wanted us to be, having survived all these crazy things that no one can prove, and everybody has actually proven the opposite has happened. So he is so painfully stupid, but also that makes him, I think that takes him the accountability out of his hands, and he deserves more of the accountability because yes, he is stupid, but he also had a say in things, and he also was banging that drum calling the family racist. So yeah, I don't feel sorry for him either. He sucks. Okay. How were Meghan Markle and Prince Harry inspired by Princess Diana to take a break from royal life? Answer. Thank you for asking. They seem less inspired by her and more exploitative of her. Ding, ding, ding. They have a pattern of wanting a lot of attention and then claiming they don't. They keep playing hide and seek game, hoping that it will keep interest in them high. Most of us outgrew hide and seek a long time ago. Yeah, I want to know who's the brains behind this latest stunt. I mean, I would never put brains and Harry in the same sentence, and I assume that Meghan controls, manipulates everything, so I assume it's her, but I just really wonder, because it's such a dumb idea, this fake car chase, that I wonder, did Harry come up with it? I know it has, it could tie back into the, IPP thing, but I just wonder, it's so childish that I almost think, hey, that sounds like something Harry would come up with. Do you think Meghan Markle has filled the hole in Prince Harry's heart after the demise of Princess Diana? Answer. Absolutely not. She's the self-serving social climber and not anything like his mother. Diana it's supposed to be loved her sons unconditionally. Harry doesn't have that with Meghan, not even close. It's a tragedy. His marriage to this girl is a major misstep. I say the same thing, and I do think he'll realize it if he hasn't already, but I also don't feel sorry for him. That ship has sailed. There was a time where I thought he was just so stupid he was being led around, but he has done as many, if not more, malicious things as she has in terms of look at that book he wrote. So my days of feeling sorry for this clown are over. Question. Do you think this was another planned event? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle involved in the near catastrophic car chase? Answer, who knows? That pair have lied so much that anything to do with them has to be taken with a very large pinch of salt. Yes, of course, Meghan must always have attention, even if she has to lie. The only surprise is it wasn't planned to happen on Friday, May the 5th. Such a good comment. I feel the exact same way. I'm truly surprised that this quote-unquote catastrophic car chase, sorry, I can't get through it without laughing, didn't happen on May the 5th, so Harry would have a reason to rush back home and avoid the coronation altogether and have more attention on her. The Frozen Todger and Spiteful Dodger, have you guys heard that? That's an amazing nickname. All right, Frozen Todger and Spiteful Dodger are at it again. The sickness, they must have to invoke Princess Diana and try to compare themselves to her as vile. These two have gone from being a curious sideshow to stomach turning. Question, were Prince Harry and Meghan Markle unharmed after the catastrophic car chase? Answer, yes, they were very unharmed. Funny how everyone else's account differ from Meghan's version. The cab driver who drove them, the NYPD, no one seems to be backing up her story. I'm sure it's because of systematic racism or something like that. I believe the word you're searching for, unconscious bias. And finally, is Meghan Markle equal to Prince Harry? Answer, equally ridiculous, you mean? I certainly think so. You guys, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I have lots more videos coming out soon, so check back lots. Of course, we have our live chat Saturday, the 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And I just hope you have the best day. Thank you for being here. If you want to further support, of course, check out the merch. Recollections may vary, make it make sense. And check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. We did a deep dive into, you guys, I went deep. That new Cleopatra, I guess, show, series, whatever it is on Netflix that's now panned as the worst TV show of all time. And in case you didn't know, it's who's behind it? Jada Pinkett Smith. So check that out if you are interested. And I tie it back into Meghan Markle. So check that out. As always, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have the best day. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're taking a look at Quora. So I like to look at Quora to see what people are asking about. And this one, I thought we would get fashion specific in terms of Meghan Markle. And when doing my research for this video and pulling pictures of bad fashion, I found a new one I haven't seen before. Have you guys seen this? I am not discussing body shape or size or anything of that nature. I am pointing out what the heck is going on with the fit of this outfit. It is not flattering. It is not good. It does not hang right. And once again, I'm left scratching my head and not understanding. I really don't. Maybe this is right after she had a baby. I really don't know. And I don't care about that. It's more about the amount of money spent, the access to tailoring and people that can help you with this sort of thing, and thinking you know better than everybody else. So I just thought this was an interesting picture that I found in my research here. But back to this old gem, because this one comes up in this video. So still one of my favorites. Hello. What's happening? I know. I want something really tight and boat neck. I want to show my bra. I want a big yard of fabric right near my crotch. Just make it very fabric-y near there. Okay, thanks. Also, there are pictures like this that will never not make me laugh. And I do use ones like this in quite a lot of my videos, and there's a reason. This is me winking and nodding at you like, can you believe this? You're seeing this too, right? Oh, God. Okay, let's get into some fashion. I'm using Joey style air quotes, Joey from Friends, who didn't know how to use quotes. I'm using crazy quotes quotation marks on this. Let's get into some fashion questions. You ready? Okay. Has Meghan Markle become more fashionable and better dresser since joining the British royal family? Oh, you mean for those 72 occasions? Probably not. So Allison answers no. Her wardrobe as a member of the royal family is so atrocious that I can't help but wonder if it's intentional. Ding, ding, ding. I think it is too. Either by her as a way of showing her dissatisfaction with her perceived plight, or by her wardrobe staff as a means to voice their unhappiness with her. I tend to think it's both. I think she likes the attention, whether good or bad. I think it is a big middle finger. We've found that a lot, like she'd be told to wear a certain color or not wear a certain color. So can you guess what she would do? Always the wrong choice. But also, I said the same thing, that just shows me she has no good girlfriends, because who would let your friend go out of the house wearing a poop emoji on their head with a chocolate curl taped to the side? Nobody. Question: who is giving Meghan Markle her royal fashion advice? Answer: what royal fashion advice? Unless it was advice on how to dress tacky, she has that down to a T. What? I'm shocked. Why would you say that? Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the point I was trying to make in the first question is, I just think even if there was somebody there advising her, and there probably was, I remember in what was it? I've seen so many things now. Was it a Netflix documentary maybe? They actually showed a shot of the woman altering that stupid Kermit cape dress. I'm sure there were people on staff, but did she listen to him? No, I doubt it. She thought she knew best. I mean, allegedly, that's what happened with her stupid wedding dress, is she made so many changes and didn't want to take anybody else's advice, so we got that piece of shit. I don't know. Ooh, I'm feisty today. Okay. Marcia says, from the looks of her many different outfits, no one is giving Meghan Markle royal fashion advice. If there actually is someone doing that for her, they should be fired. Meghan Markle is in desperate need of a well-versed stylist who knows royal protocol and how to properly dress from business casual to formal events, with special attention to details that are specific to the event's cause. A prime example is Her Royal Highness Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge. She is always very classic and complimentary to the country she's in, honoring that country by wearing jewelry given to Her Majesty the Queen from that country, or by wearing a special outfit that with the colors of the country's flag, or even a dress or outfit from one of the country's designers, to name a few. She always makes a special tribute in some way with fashion and design. I think it's wonderful and very kind of her to do that. As always, a class act. Okay, I actually did a video on this subject almost about same events, how the two women dress differently. So definitely go take a look at this if you haven't already. I was thinking I want to do another one like this. It's just hard because where Meghan only did 72 occasions. Again, can you believe it? Still riding the coattails of victimhood off 72 occasions. And some of them were polo matches and stuff. But anyway, I was thinking I do want to do another video on this because I had so much fun just comparing the choices made. But going back to Catherine, who I love so dearly, big time agree with the person who had posted this response. That's what I loved too, is Catherine includes very thoughtful details on things, whether it's meaningful for the country, whether it's colors of the flag, whether it's details, jewels given to the royal family from the country, whatever it is. Very thoughtful. I think about where she does the Wimbledon events and she wears the little bow. And if you're like, Jen, what's that? It's actually super cool. She's patron of All England Tennis and Croquet Club. And it's something, it's like a nod and honor to them. It's something that only certain members may wear, and it kind of points back to them and shows her pride in what she's doing. And I just love the thoughtful details like that. Plus, I think there's just more thought given to the type of fabric, the actual event, how it photographs, how it travels, how it moves. that sort of thing. I just think more care seems to be given or taken or however you want to say it. She just always looks fabulous and I'm jealous. But going back to the Wimbledon thing, here you have Meghan at the Wimbledon thing. And I'm not trying to pick at her, but she makes it so easy. You're telling me you didn't realize your pants look like this? Really? Or that they do this on the ground? I mean, how bad did she tick off her whole staff that they're not telling her? Or did they tell her and she's just like, nope, not going to hear it? Somebody said in the comments once, and it sticks with me, it's like she's convinced herself that she's 8 feet tall and she will only dress that way regardless of being 5 feet tall or whatever she is. You get the idea, but I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. That's exactly what it seems to be. It doesn't matter what the mirror tells her. The mirror's wrong, right? It's whatever she believes. Oh boy, get ready for this one. You ready? All right, this person asks, who does the Duchess of Sussex turn to for fashion advice? To which Sue replies, this dear soul, Megs wanted to know how to copy her eyebrows. She was so impressed, she employed her as a full-time fashion advisor. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm looking at, but yeah, sure, okay. I would add to that maybe bronzer advisor, spray tan advisor, I'm not sure. All right, and then this person asks, what are Meghan Markle's worst fashion moments? Oh boy, sit down. How long you got? You want to talk for 4 hours? Because I can talk to you about that. Well, this person's made a list. Let's take a look and see if we agree. All right, the gray dress that didn't fit. The Robin Hood outfit that didn't fit. What's the Robin Hood outfit? I've never, is it the green one? I've never heard it called that. I've heard, who's it? Was it, oh my gosh, I did this before. I couldn't remember. Was it HG Tudor or was it, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Somebody called it Kermit Goes to Church and I think it was HG Tudor, but I might have that wrong. It may have been the Royal Grift. Regardless, hilarious. Kermit Goes to Church. I'll never understand this look. And even look aside and not fitting, how does this not bother your neck? My neck would be so red from rubbing fabric. And I just be like, I want to take this off. You know how you get home and you can't wait to take off your bra? No, just me. Okay. Same thing with this dress. I don't understand it. Is this the Robin Hood look that they're talking about? I'm confused. Let me know. All right. The blue and white silky pleated skirt she wore to Wimbledon. Oh my goodness. Okay. She wore it with that white shirt that was not the same color. I've talked about this one at length. Definitely go watch my fashion fails because I think all these are in there, but let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll actually throw Meghan a bone here and say it would be damn near impossible to look good in anything standing next to Catherine. I'm talking about myself. I would feel awkward all the time. Okay. All right. But you better believe I would, if I have access to everybody that can help me with this kind of thing or avoid this kind of thing, you better believe I would listen. I don't think Meghan listened. Look at how bad this is. I have talked about how bad this is before, but I am once again shocked and appalled all over. You might think I'm being dramatic. I'm not. This is appalling. What am I looking at? This is horrendous. I'm not even, again, I'll say it here. I don't care what shape she is. I don't care what size she is. It has nothing to do with that. This is the worst looking, fitting, nonsensical outfit. Once again, I don't understand it. Why in the world would you want a black, I don't know what that is, the belt to cut you right under the boobs? Like, I don't understand. And the weights aren't the same weight. So what's happening? Why? What am I looking at? It makes me angry. I'm angry now. Somebody help me. All right. Let's keep going. The navy outfit she wore to Trooping the Color. Oh, baby boy, I know what you're talking about. After Archie was born, it looked like something a mafia don's grandmother would wear to his funeral. Let's take a look at that one. I like that they're saying that as if I could ever forget this. It's not just the idiotic outfit, because that outfit is idiotic. I've said this before. It looks like she was afraid she'd lose her scissors, so she taped them to the side of her hat. This is the worst outfit, one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. And that's saying something because she wears terrible outfits all the time. It looks like she's a nurse and she's cold. So she put some sort of hospital, I don't know, smock or something over her scrubs. I don't understand this look. I don't want to understand this look. Again, I'm getting mad. And you know what makes it worse? That smug look on her face. She thinks she is the greatest thing she's ever seen, and nobody will tell her differently. Nobody. Let's keep going. This list is fun. The black dress she wore. Oh, guys, I talk about this one quite a bit too. The black dress she wore to the Lion King premiere. Oh, I have a whole cringe video on everything about that night. The severe hairdo was out of proportion to the dress and just made her look matronly. Yeah, that's about one of the 50 things wrong with this outfit. Let's take a look. I'm telling you now, if somebody made me this outfit, I would sue. I'm not even a litigious person, but in this case, I would sue. This is the worst. I keep saying that. It's not the worst. It's one of the worst. It's so bad. You guys, it's so bad. How do you not see? Oh, weird. The top of this dress is too small. My boobs are squished together to make one big boob. The mesh is pulling the cut. It's not right. I swear to God, she looks uncomfortable in this dress. If you look at the way she's standing, it's like she doesn't know what to do with herself, and it makes it more uncomfortable. But the original poster was talking about how the hair doesn't help either. It's too severe. I totally agree with that. It is too severe. And I think the way the dress is, and then she's so weird. So weird. It's like she doesn't know how to be a human. I've said this before. It's like an alien took over and doesn't know how to be a human. So they make strange expressions like this. Can you imagine? It's like one of those 80s movies where you switch bodies with somebody, but it's like you switch bodies with your parent. And so one's older and one's very young and they don't know how to be in that body. That's what we're looking at. That's what's happening. I can't explain it otherwise. All right, I'm loving this list. Let's see here. The maxi dress that was slit to the nether regions she wore on her first trip overseas. Oh, allow me, shall I? I talk about that one quite a bit. Damn, I talk a lot about her clothes. I do. I talk about that one a lot because it makes no sense. It's not even that I hate the dress. It's fine if it's you or me on a, I don't know, beach vacation or whatever, or walking around somewhere hot. I live in Florida. It makes sense here, but it makes less than no sense. Less than no sense for a royal tour or whatever the hell it's called. Let's take a look. I'm mad. All right. You guys, I cannot with this. Seriously, royal duty, royal tour. This is what she wears. It is slit from, I don't know, neck to nuts. You can see everything. I'm sorry, but you can. Woo! All right, breathe, Jen. You can see everything. And what you can't see in the slit, you can see through the dress. Yep, that's a royal duty outfit. I don't know what it's called. You know what I'm saying. This is an official outfit that she wore. Can you believe this? What's happening here? Seriously, I feel like I'm having a stroke. I smell burnt toast. What is going on? What am I looking at? This is horrible. Who would think this is okay? It's not okay. It's not. I would wear this to cover up a bathing suit. So I'd probably still throw a towel around me. I just can't imagine. I cannot. And then I got to thinking, what didn't make the list? That's hard. I have many videos on the worst fashion choices, but I'm just going on the royal time. If it's not royal, if she's not part of the royal family, I'm putting that stupid red dress, you know, the one that I always put up with the stupid straps where her boobs will pulled fuller apart. That makes no sense. But if we're going from royal perspective, I'm going this one. I think this has to be the worst one. And that's a hard choice because there's so many worst ones. And I may have even picked a different worst one in my fail video. I'm not even sure. This dress haunts me. It really does. It's not flattering. It's not ironed. It's not fitted. It's not a good color. It's not a good shape. It's horrible. Make it stop. All right, this person asks, how have Meghan Markle's fashion choices reflected her role as a modern royal? Yikes. Answer, she is not a royal, and her fashion sense has always and will always be horrid, unflattering to her unfortunate body proportions, inevitably ill-fitting. She has a delusional notion of her taste and style that no amount of stylist's direction can correct. She's the epitome of poor taste and inappropriate selections. What? What are they talking about? She always... No, this is horrible. Case in point, look at the screen. Yikes. All right, then I thought we could end on this one. Somebody asked, did Meghan Markle change anything about the British royal family? You ready for this? Answer, yes, she did. She demonstrated that Metropolitan Police needed to update their procedures and protocols on how to screen future people who may marry into the British royal family. Not fashion, but still hilarious. Guys, that was fun. I enjoy doing videos like this. If you want to see more like this, please let me know in the comments. I love that list. I love going back through the choices because it makes no sense and it's kind of fun trying to rationalize it. Spoiler alert, you can't. Anyway, let me know your picks for the worst ones. I know it's hard. If you didn't already, go back and watch my videos on this because I've actually made videos on her worst fashion fails. And we're going to take a look at what people have to say about them as well as our own question and answers. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. I just thought this picture was so perfect and so fit her. I thought I'd start the video out with this. Okay, let's take a look at the questions. Right out of the gate, I wanted to start with a feisty one. So is Meghan Markle capable of being a princess? Answer, she isn't capable of being a human being, never mind a princess. This person asks, is Meghan Markle close with Princess Anne? You guys, I love this answer. It's one of my favorite I've come across. You ready? Buckle up for this. Firstly, don't ever blink with Princess Anne. If she don't kick your arse, I will. She's not a princess, she's a goddess. I love Princess Anne. Secondly, Anne was on to Meghan the moment she first met her, just as the Queen Mother was on to Wallis Simpson's little attempt at getting her grubby American mitts on a royal title. Lastly, don't blink with Princess Anne. She has a whole country of men ready to take anyone out that means her harm. So well said. Such a great answer. I love Princess Anne. Don't blink with Princess Anne. All right. This is for my Australian people in my comments. You guys, I love you all so much. I have a lot of people from Australia here. Listen to this nonsense. You ready? Why is Meghan so widely adored in Australia, but not the UK? I have a bunch of people in the comments here that are going to strongly disagree with this one. She was not widely adored in the UK. I've actually met some lovely people because of our shared dislike of Markle. We've bonded over that. But this person has a great answer. Let's take a look. I have no clue what rock you're living under. Australians do not adore Meghan Markle or Harry. In the beginning, we were excited about Harry finally settling down and seeing him happy. It was sad watching him as the constant third wheel with Catherine and William. To give him some direction, then things changed. She came here to Australia, hated the place, and was not silent about it at all. Demanded that the Attorney General leave his house so that they could have it all to themselves. Despite the fact that they were given the whole wing for themselves, despite the fact that the Queen had stayed in the same place in the same wing when she visits Australia, despite the fact that other dignitaries and world leaders have stayed in the same wing in the Admiralty House. But oh no, not Meghan Markle. She demanded more. Australians are pretty laid back about most things. What we do not tolerate is stuck-up foreigners who think they're better than everyone else. Not even tolerate it from other Australians. So adore, you say? I think your wires are crossed and you're seriously misinformed. I love this person so much. I've bonded with a couple of you from Australia in the comments. You're wonderful. You do have I'm not just trying to generalize, but the few of you that I've met, you're amazing. And Yeah, you seem to have the opposite opinion on Meghan that the questioner had. We seem to be on the same page that she's pretty awful and you would not tolerate that nonsense. All right. Is Meghan Markle close with Princess Eugenie? No. Harry was close to Princess Eugenie as cousins playing together. I'm still not sure why Harry is like this. So we've talked about this before. I don't quite understand either. Well, I don't understand why Harry does anything, but I don't understand the Eugenie relationship either. I don't understand why she would have stuck with them like she has, especially with the antics they pulled at her wedding. How does Meghan Markle keep her relationship with the royal family despite the conflict between them? Answer. She has no relationship with the royal family. She spent all her efforts lying and fighting with the family. Does that sound like a working or healthy relationship? All right. Question. What do you think of the claims of Meghan Markle bullying palace staff? I don't know why I love this answer so much. It just struck me really funny. And yeah, it's well said. It says she was a nightmare at Wimbledon. So yeah, I can believe it. And then this person says, I believe it's true. Why would Her Majesty the Queen's staff lie? It would serve them no purpose to do so. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly what I said. I don't believe that any of them had there would be no benefit for them to make this stuff up. And for so many of them to have similar stories, it just doesn't make sense. Who would gain more by lying? Of course Meghan would. So of course she's lying. And I also talked about so they would quit after having a horrible time under her. And a lot of them ended up going to work with William and Catherine and are still there or worked for them for years without incident. So, again, who does it sound like is lying here? I would say Meghan. Question. Is Meghan Markle royalty? Answer. No. She married an imbecile prince, is all. She's as far removed from royalty as you can possibly get. The woman's not even a lady. Next silly question. Do you feel by not publishing the results of that bullying inquiry against Meghan Markle, the royal family is protecting Meghan, or are they trying to avoid more drama? Now, I like this answer very much. Let's talk about it. The answer that this person put is, I do not believe they're protecting Meghan for 1 minute. What they're trying to protect is our most gracious queen. She doesn't need any more Meghan Markle drama in her life. So the palace will do what they can to end it and shut it all down. I think both can be true. I voiced very loudly my wish that bullying report would be released, leaked, whatever, that we could read it. I want to get my hands on it. I agree with the commenter, and I didn't think about it like that at the time, that's that would be understandable that they would just try to shut it down to protect the queen. But now, who are we protecting? I say, let that thing out. Let it fly. Let's all discuss it. Let's have typed up copies and we'll use it like textbooks. We'll go page by page and do a study on it. I'm going to need to see that report. Do you think that Meghan Markle regrets doing that prank in the Ellen DeGeneres show? You guys, even reading that Ellen DeGeneres show, I cringe all over again. We did a deep dive of it on Patreon where we actually watched it and broke down the interview and then the prank. I'm using Joey style air quotations on that one. Prank. It was the most cringe, awful. There were times where Jay did it with me, and we were trying to think of even what to say. We just kept saying, oh my God, this is terrible. I hate it. Like, it wasn't funny. It wasn't even good cringe. It was just like two mean people talking to each other is how I felt. I am not an Ellen fan. She's got her issues. Obviously, I'm not a Meghan fan. She's got tons of issues. Those two, again, friendship made in hell. Enjoy yourselves. But this person answers, no, not at all. I think Meghan believes she gave an excellent performance and the world loves her even more for it. She believes that she was clever, charming, funny, a true comedian. The woman is delusional. She will always think anything she does is sheer perfection. I think so too. Now, Ellen is more interesting. Personally, I think Ellen was, and then it cuts off. What I think they were saying, and what some of the comments I read here, is they think that Ellen was in on it and wanted to kind of show that what Meghan was. I'm saying, no. No, I think these narcissistic twins, like, I don't think Ellen gave a fuck. Like, she just wanted the views. And I think Meghan thinks she's the greatest thing ever. So again, I just think they're a narcissistic match in hell. Mm-mm. Why do you think Prince Harry married Meghan Markle? What were her qualities that attracted him to her? This person writes, I wish I knew. I can't imagine why an actual prince would be in such a hurry to get married and father children. His older, wiser brother set a good example and ended up marrying someone very worthy and qualified for the position and responsibilities of royal life. Catherine waited 9 years, and it was her first marriage. Harry chose to marry a woman twice divorced and a former yacht girl. Now he's estranged from his family and his country because of her. And then this person says, I think what Harry liked best about Meghan was that his family was so against them getting married. Harry is emotionally stuck between age 12 to 15 and has never matured past that age. Harry was devastated by the death of his mother, and Meghan convinced Harry that she was the reincarnation of Diana. I'm not sure how she explains that she was already born when Diana died. Harry is emotionally a child, which makes him very easy to manipulate. Meghan studied Harry, his family, his late mother, and she came up with a scenario that convinced Harry she was the only person, and then it cuts out. But you get the drift. I get the drift. And once again, I think this answer is exactly it. I think he's so stupid, and he does somehow believe I don't know if he believes it's Diana reincarnated, but I just remember in his book, and I think in the book Revenge, I can't remember which book it was, one of the books we read, they talk over and over about Harry kept saying that Meghan has Diana's stardust. Take that how you will. I don't even think he meant star power. I think he meant stardust. Like that magical quality. Well, I guess that is star power. You know what I'm saying. Like, I think he's so delusional and so painfully stupid. And I think she controls him and tells him these things. And he's like, yeah, that's what it is. That's Diana, yeah. And I think he's got a huge anger problem. It's just everything I've read and I see of this guy. I just think he's an angry idiot. And so when she tells him, I've got Diana Stardust, he's like, sure, yeah, I'm going to eat some crowns and be angry now. What can you do? Well, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it with the angry idiot and the poop hat emoji. The poop emoji hat, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. I really like doing these Q&As. I think they're a lot of fun. It's a way to open up more conversations. I love your comments when they come in. So I'll probably keep going with these if you're into them as well. Let me know. Let me know your answers to some of these questions. I love reading your comments. As always, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for supporting. If you want to further support, definitely check out my merch. I got Recollections May Vary. Make it make sense. In a world of Meghan's Be a Catherine, we got, and then check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where we do like the Ellen interview, the deep dives. We have like a chat board going on over there. We're having a lot of fun talking about what we're into now, what we're watching. So check that out. As always, thank you for everything. I hope you have the best day, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're taking a look at Meghan's fashions. That's right. I love talking about this stuff because I will never not find it funny. I have a whole playlist of different fashion fails, so definitely check that out. But today, I thought we could look at what people are talking about on Quora. It's a question and answer website I often refer to because it's hilarious. And we could take a look at what people are asking about her fashions, take a look at some of the fashions, and just have some fun. Let's take a look. So right off the bat, we have who are some of Meghan Markle's fashion influences? Meghan Markle's fashion influences, Home Depot. Those clothes that she wears looks like a tent wrapped around her. Yeah, gotta trot out this dress for this one, but exactly. It's just so much fabric. It's not altered or tailored right. It doesn't flatter anybody's body shape. It doesn't look good. Guys, in my research, I came across this monstrosity as well. What's happening? Why? Why is it like this? Who wants extra fabric around themselves like this? It's just a lot and messy and it's wrinkly and it doesn't look good. So Wendy answers Miss Piggy, Cruella de Vil, Jack Sparrow, and Quasimodo as her fashion influences. How has Meghan Markle's style influenced other women's fashion choices? Oh boy. In my opinion, Meghan's fashion style is an excellent example of what not to wear. So if you have a similar body type to hers, avoid everything she wears. All I can say is that girl has never met a trench dress that she didn't love or a belt under her boobs that she didn't love. It's a look. How does Meghan Markle know what to wear and how to style her clothing so well? Answer: she doesn't. She hasn't a clue. Wrong outfit, wrong fit, wrong place seems to be what happens. I don't believe she has anyone to advise her, and if they did, she would probably ignore their advice. What is the royal style of Meghan Markle? Answer: she has no style, unless you count rumpled, frumpy, wrinkled, middle-aged trollop as style, and she's not royal. So based on this critique, I brought out rumpled, I brought out frumpy. I would actually also call this frumpy as well. There's just so much fabric and so much going on. And again, it was like 80-something degrees. And then wrinkled. Here you go. Question: what do you think about Meghan Markle's dress and style? Answer: she tends to spend vast amounts of money on clothing that does not fit her. Even her wedding gown looked as though it needed a tailor. She tends to leave a button unfastened during official outings, which is not professional, and her dresses tend to have skirts that go up really high. I would say she's one of the worst dressed royals. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. They brought up the wedding dress, so here it is, and I'd have to say, yeah, it fits in with the last comment about wrinkled and frumpy, all in one. And speaking of wedding dress, this person says critics have said Meghan Markle's wedding dress didn't fit her properly. Do you think they're right? So I brought this answer, and also I would point you toward River here on YouTube. I know a lot of you watch them. Really good channel. Lots of fabulous outfits over there. But they kind of reported this story about what happened with Givenchy. Let's talk about that. Allegedly, the story goes thus. Meghan discussed the design she wanted for the dress with the Givenchy designer, Claire Keller. Claire then went away, and a pattern of the dress was made to M's description, and Meghan went to try it on. She criticized it and said it wasn't right. And so it went on. Each time there was a fault with the design, the makeup of the whatever. The wedding got closer and closer, and in the end, she had to have what she wore. Because she kept changing things, there wasn't enough time to finish it perfectly, so the dress didn't fit as it should. From the way Claire left Givenchy afterwards, I suspect Givenchy wasn't happy that such a high-profile dress wasn't perfect. But that was down to Meghan Markle, her lack of decision, and I believe her behavior, which was far from polite. So what they're referring to is probably the same thing we've all heard, that allegedly I've heard that things went down at Givenchy, including maybe a slap. So definitely look into that because I've heard the same thing. And yeah, that's kind of the reporting that I've heard, that the dress didn't fit because of so many changes and attitude about it all. You know, I had to include this question. This is probably my least favorite look ever on her. It was, what do you think about Meghan Markle's revealing red dress that she wore to the New York Gala to honor the veterans? Oh boy, you know this is my least favorite look. I hate it so much. I've talked about it at length. Awful, awful dress. Awful tailoring, awful. Everything about it's awful. Answer: it looks absolutely terrible. Ill-fitting, saggy, wrinkly as per usual. I wonder why she always goes with a baggy fit. She has terrible taste. Red is completely inappropriate color to wear to this type of event. It is not prom. This is a serious occasion to remember the veterans who served for us. Mind you, Meghan was uninvited to the event. I did not know that. And she turned up to the event without permission. It was a stunt to have all eyes on her. What an attention whore. At least get a good fitting dress, Miss Markle. Do you guys know about that? I hadn't heard that she was uninvited. I know this is the dress that in Netflix, like 4 people were trying to dress her in. And I thought, it takes 4 people to do this, to look this dumb. What is happening? I think her motive behind the dress was to be flashy and to have all eyes on her. The bright red, the leg slit, ball gown ensemble screams all eyes on me. But of course, as always, her discreet attempts to be the center of attention diminish with her foolish taste of style and, I'd say, lack of tailoring. It was big, bulky, and ill-fitting. You can tell it was loose on the sides. The material looked cheap and wrinkly. That's what I thought, too. And the cleavage padding looks like a failed attempt at a 50s pointy bullet bra trend. It was also meant to upstage Catherine in her stunning gold sequin dress, you guys. I remember this too. Obviously we know the gold, beautiful dress, one of my all-time favorites. I've talked about it at length. James Bond premiere dress. Meghan wore this soon after. Yeah. This person goes on to say she failed miserably as Meghan is tasteless and unfashionable Hollywood tramp, and Catherine keeps her elegance and class. Try harder, Meghan. There is not one single good thing about this dress. Well, there you have it. The tales of Madame Longnose and the ragged red dress. I just will never get over. I obsess about this dress. It's like, I don't understand who would want their boobs pulled farther apart. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that nobody said, hey, this is not fitting right. It's cutting into your back and making this appear. And then who wants to add yards of fabric around their butt and their hips? I don't understand what's happening here. Make it stop. But I think what makes it worse is the smug look on her face. Look, she clearly thinks there's no problem. So that pretty much sums up a lot of her fashion problems, I believe, is she thinks she knows best and maybe doesn't own a mirror. Continuing on with the dress theme, somebody asked, who made Meghan Markle's red dress that she wore, that red dress we just saw? Answer, no idea, but it was nothing to be proud of. It was actually Carolina Herrera, if you're wondering. Let's all run right out and buy one, right? Nothing to be proud of. It was totally unsuitable for a gala commemorating veterans, and it did not fit her, showing every roll of fat, especially at the back. Come to think of it, the Kermit outfit she wore for Commonwealth Day service looked awful from the back as well. Ooh, baby. Didn't just look awful from the back. It looked awful from the front, too. Again, foundation garments. What's going on? Everything about this looks awful. I will never forget or understand this forever. I would say this maybe plays second behind that red dress of things that I think about a lot. It's so bad. Somebody had said it looks like she got caught in a door and fabric just started pulling, and that's all I see now. I don't know if it's meant to be a cape. I don't know if the tailor, there's no tailor, if the whatever dressmaker was just sick of hearing her, so she kept wrapping fabric around her neck. I'm not sure, but it's so bad. And I'm very fully aware. I always get comments when I post this that, oh, you're not supposed to wear green to a Commonwealth. Yep, that's just part of her being a brat, as per usual. And then somebody else brings up the wedding dress, and they ask, did you like the fit or the style? What's wrong with the wedding dress? Okay, let's take a trip back. Princess Angela of Liechtenstein did this look when she married Prince Maximilian in 2000. There's no comparison. I'm sorry. She looks so beautiful. I see what this dress could be on the right and what Meghan's dress ended up like. But look at the difference in the tailoring. I even think the material looks better on the right. Everything about this dress, it's so much more classy and elegant, and I have another picture of it. I know Princess Angela's holding it up a little bit, so it's hard to tell, but it just, again, it comes down to the tailoring. Pick a spot. I'd say look around her arms and shoulders. You can see where it's made to fit her versus Meghan's just doesn't, it's not. It's wrinkled. It's a mess. It doesn't make any sense. So here's another closer look at Princess Angela's dress. I love it. I do. I mean, it's definitely on the simple side, but I get what they're doing. And I'd always heard, and I know you guys have said, if you're going to go very simple, it has to be flawless and it has to be perfectly tailored and fitted and all that. And we see that on the right. We do not, you guys, we do not see that on the left. I mean, pick a spot. I would say pick a spot on both dresses and look again on the right. You see the perfectly tailored, and on the left, it's a mess. You can see her. We always talk about it. She wears the wrong bras to everything. And once again, hey, it's her wedding day. Why fail, right? Why? I mean, no, I guess why not continue the failure of the wrong bras? And I'm going to post this picture here because I love it. Look how happy they look. Look how beautiful she looks. And honestly, I think her makeup here is so beautiful and radiant. And so the simple dress with the really good tailoring and stuff, it just all works here. And I think this is what Meghan was probably trying to go for and just completely missed the mark. Okay, and then we got another question about the dress. Why didn't Meghan Markle's wedding dress fit? Answer. The simplest answer is she pissed off the dressmaker's fitting assistants, so they quietly sabotaged her dress when it was too late to repair the damage. Blokes did not see the problem, but every woman spotted the defects. Meghan's card was marked. You see, when fitting a bride to a dress, in some ways, it's more than a job. It's a labor of love. But Meghan did not get the love, because she must have behaved badly toward these fitters. So they stiffed the dress. Okay. I do tend to think this is part of it. I also tend to think that, as we've seen, Meghan thinks she knows best about everything. And so they could have given her the best advice in the whole world. And she's like, no, I know what I know what I want. I know what looks good on me, that sort of thing. So she just wouldn't listen. Question. What is the tackiest clothing that Meghan Markle wore and why? Ooh, that's a hard one to pick. You guys, this is hilarious. This person picks her Oscar de la Renta blue and white maxi dress number. Let me get a better picture going here so you can really get the full effect. Here you go. Now you can enjoy it in its full wonder. I said before, it is very much like grandma's bed sheets going on, and I call this her toilet paper hat, her toilet paper fascinator. I've definitely included this in fashion videos before, so go take a look. I looked into how much it costs, and now the number escapes me, but it was something so ridiculous. It was over 5,000 pounds, whatever it was. It was so ridiculous. But yeah, there you go. All right. And then finally, this person asks, what is Meghan Markle's favorite fashion brand? I would say Givenchy, right? Because she sure liked to wear them a lot. Okay. Answer, anything that's free, as apparently she asks companies for free samples for her to wear. I'd heard that too. She had her, assistants or people helping her when she was at the palace asking for the Duchess discount, which meant free. This is all alleged, but they had to tell her, no, we don't do that here. That's not a thing. Now, this part I did not hear. They go on to say that's the reason Victoria Beckham was booted from the BFF list, as she said no. And then they say, good on you, Victoria. So now that's interesting. I had not heard that. I had heard that the reason she and Victoria were no longer close was because she suspected, where did I hear this? Now I can't remember. She allegedly suspected that Victoria was planting stories about her in the press. And so maybe David came out and spoke about it. I think he did. So she had Harry talk to David about it, David Beckham, and he, of course, said no, she didn't do that. And so it ended up being she was wrongly accused. That's alleged. That's the story that I remember reading about, is something about planting stories. And I'm just laughing thinking, that all sounds right. Not that Victoria would do that, but I'm thinking Victoria is so much a bigger star than Meghan Markle. You know what I mean? So Why would she be planting stories about Meghan Markle? It just doesn't make any sense, but it would in Meghan's head, right? Enjoyed making that video. So let's sit down with some of your questions and comments, talk through them, and talk about what's on everybody's mind. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, so tuck in and enjoy, and let's see what you guys had to say about all this. And if I didn't get to your question, then leave it below. I'll read those too. But it's just an interesting way to have conversations about, again, what everybody's thinking about these two. So let's jump right on in and see what we're talking about. Okay, again, no particular order right out of the gate. We got Pearly B51 saying, I would ask Skank why she always has her claws on Hank. It's real creepy to me. And then says some really nice things about the channel. Well, thank you so much, Pearly. That is such a good point, and I think I breezed over in the first one. Let's take a second and talk about that. So I think a lot of us have said before, if it was just here and there, it's no big deal. I actually love PDA in terms of just hand-holding, that kind of thing. I think it's wonderful in the right context and the right setting, and again, not to the excessive degree. That's not what this seems to be. This isn't just playful pats, touches, even kisses. It's not that. It's controlling, and it's weird. And I would say, if it were the other way, I've said this before, if it were the other way and Harry would not let go of Meghan with both arms holding on to her to the point where we've seen, remember that incident, she wouldn't let him shake hands with somebody without planting her feet and holding on tightly so he couldn't move. Weird stuff like that. If it was the other way around, we would all be screaming like, oh my God, is she okay? We need to get her away from him. That's, abuse, that sort of thing. But I think when it's this way around, people, the sugars like to say like, oh, there's nothing wrong with PDA. Well, you're right. There is nothing wrong with PDA. But again, that's not what this is. This seems to be crossing into control. And it's weird, right? Anne Bennett asks, how did Meghan think it was okay to take pictures of the Wales children to sell, but never allows anyone to have a picture of their children? Now, that is an interesting question, and I don't have an answer, and I'm going to put an allegedly by that. Allegedly, she got in trouble for taking pictures of the Wales children. I had heard the same thing, and I wondered the exact same thing. But it just, as you guys like to point out, she's a narcissist. There's so many things going on there, and so the rules don't seem to apply to her, but that's an excellent point, an excellent question. All right, Kathy Jo Patterson asks, 2 quick questions come to mind for me. 1, if they divorce, does Meghan get to keep Diana's jewelry? And 2, oh my gosh, my husband started talking to me, so I forgot. Jeez. No, Kathy, that is hilarious. I love this comment and this question so much. Kathy, I would say to put 2 hands on your husband and claw on tight and say, don't interrupt me when I'm having important thoughts. Give him the Meghan stare. That is such a good question. Same question. Does she get to keep Diana's jewelry? My first thought is there had to have been some sort of prenup when they got married, right? And does that jewelry officially belong to the crown? I don't know how that works. So I'm sure you guys can fill me in, but I think that's an excellent point and an excellent question, but I do feel like my instinct says she'll find a way to keep them. She can claim them, claim them as gifts or something like that, or find some loophole and find a way to keep them. I think big picture too, let's say they did have a prenup, when they got married. That was in the UK. They're in California now, so how does that work? Lots of questions there. Okay, Elizabeth III writes, ironic how Meghan Markle hates walking behind William, Catherine, Camilla, and even Charles, but is so snooty and loves being able to walk in front of Sophie and the York daughters. I thought I'd give you a little peek at smug while we talk through this one. Yeah, I've seen the video you're talking about. There is a video, I wish I had it with me. I found it once before, it's hard to find, but there's a video where Meghan is literally pushing chairs out of the way to try to hurry and get in front of Sophie. It's so juvenile and so childish. And my instinct is to say anybody that is confident in themselves or comfortable in their own skin, they don't act like that, right? You don't see William doing that. He has respect because he's got his shit together. I don't know. Very eloquent, I know. you know what I mean? People like that, Catherine, you don't see her scrambling to do things like that. So when you see Meghan and Harry scramble in a situation like that, like, we gotta hurry, we gotta get in front of, whoever, Sophie, the York sisters, whoever, it really does show her inner workings, her, again, the narcissism, she's just full of herself, right? It's absolutely juvenile and childish and ridiculous and all the things, and I, for one, find it hilarious to watch. All right, Binks 1113 writes, when the divorce happens with Harry and Meghan, who's turning on who first? Love to hear that answer. Ooh, Binks, excellent question. I just realized this is supposed to be Harry and Meghan's answers to everything, so I apologize, but they're not here, so I'm going to answer for them. Here's what I think. I think it's going to be Meghan that comes out swinging. I really do. I think he'll take the Eeyore woe is me approach, but I think she will really lay on thick the I'm a victim, her favorite go-to move, right? P.S. I think about that occupies so much space in my brain. How much the I'm a victim they both play, and how, if obviously none of it's true, but let's just pretend for a second that everything they ever said was true, from the pretend fire in Archie's nursery to the near catastrophic car chase, and the family was racist against, just all the bullshit that they peddle constantly. If that stuff was true, wouldn't they be the most unlucky couple in the whole world, truly? Like, wouldn't it just be one horrible event after another? Like, they had to disown her dad. They had to cut off his family, all that. Obviously, we don't believe any of it, but it is funny to think about it like that when you think about all these quote-unquote tragedies that they manufacture. You'd think, damn, these people never catch a break, right? Right. But truly, I think she'll be the more vocal one. I think she'll paint herself as a victim with her, favorite brush, painting herself as a victim. And she'll totally throw him under the bus. She let him write about the substance use in the book, which will be used against him. She's letting this stuff leak out about the hotel room he allegedly has. I think she knows he's painfully stupid, so she lets him basically hang himself with his own rope, would be my guess, so that way it can be used against him if and when they separate. And then I think she'll be the first one to claim, he didn't protect me from his family, he didn't help me. And then when people were saying these awful things about me, bleh, again, whiny Dracula, when people were saying these awful things about me, he didn't protect me, all the bullshit. I'm sure it's coming. All right, the next one is, I hope I say your name right, is it Chiara? I hope that's right. Writes, strange how she idolizes Diana, but she doesn't try to copy how she, meaning Diana, tried to make her children's lives fun. When have they taken them somewhere interesting other than an empty beach? That is such a good point and such an interesting thing that I didn't even realize. I didn't even put it together. I do think it's odd how much they go out of the way to make the children into mysteries. Now, I had an excellent comment somewhere in here, thank you to whoever wrote this, that it's because they hide them because they know that when they do bring them out, they'll make more money. It's like building up the suspense. But regardless, that's such a great point and such an interesting one. And yeah, we saw Diana with the boys quite a bit, out taking them skiing and doing things with them. And Harry claims that he never got to go on bike rides, but we see him out for bike rides, just normal things you do with your children. And we just don't see that with Hank and Skank, and we don't see that with the kids. And the whole thing is so weird, right? The whole mystery is so weird. Did they just keep him locked up in that Montecito, whatever? I don't even want to call it a mansion, just empty shell. I don't know. What is that? All right. So Sunshine writes, why did you accept the award for fighting racism in the royal family if it was unconscious bias? Ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you for articulating exactly what bothers me too. They throw around these words that have no meaning. They lose all meaning when they lie about stuff. And then again, just expect us to believe it, buy it, not question it, and then they give themselves awards for it. The whole thing. I mean, honestly, I say this a lot too. It keeps me riveted. It really does. It's fascinating. I've just never seen people like this. I've been around. I have narcissists. I have a narcissist in my life. It's not Jay. It's not me. But but so it. I think that's what keeps me fascinating. It's just I think we all have somebody in our life that lies. I've never seen anybody lie like these two do, and to the whole world on easily provable things. But that's truly what keeps me fascinated and riveted. And I think you bring up such an interesting question. It's just another thing that makes you scratch your head and go, what? Why? What? This makes no sense. Okay, the next one's by Angela Reed, and she asks, question to Meghan Markle, is constipation the reason you make odd facial expressions and strange leg poses in all your photos, especially all those weird squatting in heels photos, not just when you're pregnant? That is such a great comment, such a great question. Yeah, what is that? My assumption is it's a continuous look at me situation. And I think she is one of those, any press is good press. So if it means making crazy faces or squatting down like you're, excuse my French, about to take a dump, like, get a picture of it. It's going to have people talking. I mean, and look, we're talking about it. So there's that. But I truly don't understand it either. I kind of get obsessed with the fashion stuff. I really wonder now if she doesn't choose horrible things to get the attention. But then I think that takes a level of self-awareness that I don't believe she possesses. But yeah, great question. All right. Vic asks, how are you going to feel when Archie pulls a spare on you? Guess Harry will cry that he's the victim of elder abuse. Yeah, same question. What happens when they get to finally speak up? If there is a they, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, what happens when they write talking about the kids, when they write their memoir? What happens when they ask the question, why did you take me away from my cousins and my grandfathers, both of them, and my family? What's up with that? That sort of thing. I suspect, again, that they will just make themselves the victims and, yeah, that's a really good question. Miss Dude and Kids writes, she never Googled Harry, she Googled William. Oh my God, how did I not think of this? You're a genius. Miss Dude and Kids, I give you an award for such such an interesting point. Yeah, I believe that 100%. And let's take it a step further and say she also Googled Diana, because we know she had a Diana obsession according to everything we've read. But wow, that is brilliant. I wish I had thought of it myself. She didn't Google Harry, so she finally told the truth on some. She didn't Google Harry, she Googled William. That's excellent. Jean H asks, my question is for Meghan. How could she live in Canada for 7 years and know nothing about the royal family? The Queen's picture is on our money. There's a picture of her in every federal building. We celebrate a long weekend in May called Victoria Day, named after Queen Victoria. Members of the royal family visit Canada, and I can go on and on. What a liar. Jean, thank you for this. It is exactly this kind of stuff that makes her the least credible human being I've ever seen, and that's saying something. Yeah, that you bring up such a good point. And I'll take it a step further and remind everybody she claims to have studied, what was it, international relations, something like that. So double that question, right? How could you live in Canada all that time and not know? And then how could you study international, whatever it was, and not know? It makes less than no sense. Suzanne asks, question for Harry and Meghan. Every time the whales mark a birthday, anniversary, etc., you post something to compete and try to take away their thunder. Why is it you don't post any pictures of your kids to compete with the gorgeous pictures of the Wales children? And then Suzanne writes, I think I know the answer to this one as well. Suzanne, that is such a good question, well thought out, and such a good point, and something I bring up often. They really are shitbags, right? They try to go out of their way to steal any kind of attention for themselves, especially it seems around Catherine. Again, wonder who's behind that one. Yeah, same question. I wish I had an answer. It just leads to about 100 more questions. It truly doesn't make sense. And I don't know why I'm trying to make it make sense, but I am. Because these are the things that I'm just like, what are we doing here? Why lie about everything? I don't know why I'm even trying, but excellent point, excellent question. And why is it that you're so, I'm answering myself. They seem so threatened by William and Catherine especially that any good thing she tries to do, any good press she gets, any birthday she's celebrating, any anniversary, anything, they try to make it about themselves. Now, what's funny about that is they usually fail spectacularly, but it is wild to watch, and it's ridiculous, and it's actually kind of bled over into Charles, things that Charles have done when he's done tours recently, or gone to other places. It seems that's Harold and Fraud's favorite time to release news or do something to get themselves in the news. And it's interesting to watch. So Ruth brings up an excellent point as well. She wants to ask Harry about, how do you think Diana would react if she saw how he was treating William? Does he think she'd be happy that he throws everyone who he claims to love, who loves him, and just at the family under the bus? How do you think she'd react? I think this is just such a great question, and a lot of you had very similar questions. And I get so frustrated because Harry and Meghan love to speak for Diana, and I don't think that's fair because obviously she can't speak for herself. And you don't see William acting like that. He went through the same tragedy as Harry, and he doesn't use that as an excuse or a hall pass or get out of jail free, whatever you want to call it. He just goes on about his life. And I think she'd be horrified, mortified. I don't know what the word is. I think she'd be very disappointed. But again, I don't like it when they speak for Diana, so I'm not even going to try to understand. But I just gotta figure she'd be, she loved those boys so much. I can say that it was clear in the pictures and when you saw her with them. But I just can't imagine she'd be thrilled about this situation. Now, Eva asks a very interesting question that I believe will probably open up a lot of comments about this one. Okay. What is Meghan blackmailing the royal family with? That's her burning question. Eva, very interesting question. Here's my honest answer on this. I understand why people would see it this way, because they did protect her so much. And even, it sounds like, allegedly, according to the books we've read, when she was being a nightmare behind the scenes, and they both were, when they were being nightmares behind the scenes, the palace covered it up and helped protect them. And now we see they're, not putting out the bullying reports, that sort of thing. So it could be argued that they really protected Harry and Meghan. But I honestly don't think that she is blackmailing them. I actually think she doesn't matter enough to them. I don't think they would have shared any real information with her that she could blackmail them with. That's my true thought. I think that it was more out of love for Harry that they were, covering things up and protecting them. And I truly think that's why we're seeing this, quote, new side of Harry. It probably was there to some degree all along. I do think they bring out the absolute worst in each other. But I think that the palace helped hide that as well. Again, out of maybe love for Harry, maybe it was love for William, that they're like, well, we're not going to let Harry suffer because he's William. I don't pick what you think the answer is, but Regardless, I don't think she's blackmailing them. I don't think she has any actual dirt on them because I don't think she matters. I don't. All right. Ashley makes such a good point here. Ashley says, I think the naming of Lilibet was to ensure that she has a connection to the Queen and the royal family for her whole life. Same with the titles. Odd for two people who claim to hate the institution so much. Ashley, you always make the best points, and you didn't fail me here. You did great. I totally agree. I think you're spot on. That's exactly what it is. I was looking for more meaning than that when I was trying to go over the answer, but I think you so nailed it. I mean, that's exactly, I think you're spot on. I think it's about the connection, and just to remind people that even if for some reason they lost their titles, that name is it's unique, and so it's tied to the Queen, and they want people to remember that. So I think you found the answer. Ding, ding, ding. Christine asks, why do you seem so satisfied with all the mess you have caused? Christine, that is such a great question. I would like to know the answer to that too. I don't even have a guess on this one. Narcissists, I guess, like to cause chaos. I'm not really sure. I'm really not. But I'd like to know the answer to this one too, and I think that's an excellent question. Why do they both seem so satisfied with themselves over this? Although Harry just seems miserable. Why is she so smug about it? Only guess is that because she is a raging narcissist, she thinks that she's always right and she's done the right thing and she's the best and the greatest and bleh, again, whiny Dracula. Bleh. But I suspect it has something to do with that. That's why she always looks smug. And it's all about the look at me of it all. And so it's like a win-win for her. It's very bizarre, right? Dee Dee Cupcake, I love your name, asks, I would ask how Meghan really feels that Catherine is wearing Diana's engagement ring that would have been hers. Ooh, Dee Dee. Ding, ding, ding. Excellent point. Excellent question. Excellent. All of it. I love it. I know if you're watching this what we're talking about, but if you don't, that is what was flying around as, I'm going to get the details wrong, but supposedly it was that Harold was going to have Diana's engagement ring, but then when William got serious with Catherine, they did a swap where William got that and Harry got her watch. So something along those lines. You can correct me in the comments, but yeah. Oh, God, that's so good. Oh, Dee Dee. Ooh, well, I got chills on that one. That's such a good point. I love it. I hope it drives her even more crazy than everything else. And I suspect that that's part of not even hidden, the outward vitriol toward Catherine. So, yeah, I hope it bugs the piss out of her. And I got to say, I love that ring so much, and Catherine wears it beautifully. All right, Robin writes, glad I'm not the only person who is bothered by the mental health stuff. Like, why call your therapist after getting into a shoving match with your brother, but not when your pregnant wife tells you she's having dark thoughts? Robin, such a good point. Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing I was saying too. You nailed it. It doesn't make any sense. And that shoving match, I mean, how ridiculous and petty can you be? Even if it happened, why is old Sperry writing every detail down in his book? He really is just a real jackass, right? But let's say it happened. I don't believe anything in his book, but let's say it happened. Like, to your point, yeah, are you just gonna run off and call your therapist about it? But okay, let's say that happened. Even if you do, okay, great. And I'm not mocking. I think mental health is so important, and I mean, Lord knows I've seen some, so call your therapist. It's great. But I'm saying, like, why, to your point, why was that your go-to move in that situation? Two adults get pissed at each other, whatever, get into a shoving match, and that's that. Call your therapist over that, but don't offer to do it or think to do it or refuse to do it, whatever stance you want to take, for your wife who claims that she's dealing with these dark thoughts that coincidentally are the same things that Diana dealt with. Interesting, right? But let's say, again, let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say it's true. She truly was struggling and having these thoughts. Then why is that your go-to when you argue with your brother, but not when your wife is really struggling? What is that about? Okay, B Jamo asks, Here are my questions if they're answered truthfully. That's the game. We're pretending like they are, right? Why did you say that Catherine and William were welcoming in the engagement interview, but on Oprah you claimed the opposite? They also ask, why did you lie about being financially cut off? What was the point of that? Do you enjoy being victims? Ding, ding, ding. I think you hit the nail on the head for all of this, actually. They do enjoy being victims. I think, and I would say that's probably equal with Harry and Meghan, although he does seem to take on her victim mentality. So maybe it is mostly her. I'm not sure. But he sure doesn't mind playing victim as well. See, spare. Same question on the changing your story of it all. They seem to like to do that a lot. They will blatantly tell us one thing and then contradict themselves. If you don't believe me, I've made videos on it, several, where they openly say one thing and then you catch them saying a complete opposite thing. There's no truth to anything they say. It's so interesting to watch, right? It's a psychological study like I've never seen. But I just really feel like when I go back and watch that engagement interview, she's on her best behavior. Both of them are. He's pretending not to be an angry, SOB, and she's pretending not to be all the horrible things we've learned about her with the lies and the victimhood and everything else. And so we're not fully getting, she's just, again, I keep saying she's on her best behavior. We don't get the full Meghan. So she's just saying whatever about everybody. And maybe that is closer to the truth, if there is a truth with these two. But, that everybody was nice and welcoming. She said his family was great. And then, of course, her story ends up changing. But yeah, you bring up excellent points. All right, Lucy Fenwick asks, I'd love to know why she didn't invite any of her black or white family to the wedding. Obviously, she's ashamed of her family, but she must have known how she would look because of it. Lucy, this question keeps me up at night sometimes. I know it's so silly, but no, seriously, this occupies a lot of space in my brain. I suspect, as many of you have mentioned, they would have blown up her stories. Nothing she told anybody, it sounds like, was even kind of remotely true. And so she couldn't have that at her wedding. This is just my opinion, my theory. She provides a nice financial life for Doria. So Doria to just say whatever Meghan tells her to say. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship there. She doesn't have the same deal with the Markles or any of her family, so that's why it was so empty. But it strikes me so odd how she filled up her pews with celebrities. You saw Doria standing all by herself there, and then it was empty, and then celebrities. And that, I would say, that pretty much describes Meghan, right? Empty, but some celebrities hanging around. I don't know. But you would think the same thing, or I would think the same thing, the optics of that are not right. And you'd think that she'd think about that, but she really doesn't. I think she thinks we'll just buy it hook, line, and sinker, just take it all at face value, oh, look at her, she's important, she has celebrity friends, instead of the vapid shallowness that screams at the rest of us. To her, it's like, I'm important, look at me. So Janice asks, my question is, when you have your Duchess title removed, will you disappear? It's going to happen. Oh, Janice. Oh, I love it. I hope so. We've all heard the rumblings, right? I thought it was just a matter of King Charles waving his scepter. I don't know, whatever it is. But you guys have so nicely taken the time to explain to me, no, Parliament has to be involved. It's a whole government thing. Lady C assures us all that it is in the works. I tend to like what Lady C has to say, so I'm going to trust her. I'm going to take her for her word there and hope that that's the case. But yeah, I don't think she'll go away. I feel like if they weren't divorced already, when we hear the announcement on that, the divorce will be following. Because seriously, what else could she use from the ginger sock puppet? Now, I do have a lot of you in the comments making excellent points about, well, might not divorce because they actually need each other to stay relevant. And I totally get what you're saying, but I don't know. I think he's gonna maybe snap out of it and kick her to the curb. I'm not sure. And then Sarah Jones writes, in my opinion, Harry and Meghan's narrative is aimed at an audience who likes to be outraged and doesn't fact check. With the questions, I wonder about Meghan's relationship with Prince Andrew. Also, I don't understand why, for someone who supposedly hates her feet, she shows them off so much. Sarah, so good. Let's talk about your statement first. So, Harry and Meghan's narrative is aimed at an audience who likes to be outraged and doesn't like to fact check. Oh, that's it. You so perfectly summed it up. Here's their outraged faces so you can enjoy. He just looks like sniveling or something, and she looks pissed. It is funny to me how she can't hide it in pictures. I mean, she just ends up looking like this. All right. Yes, I think you are exactly right. I think I'm not trying to go tinfoil hat here, but I do think a lot of the sugars just like to believe whatever's fed to them, and whatever the news decides to print that day is exactly what's believed. And as we know, just in general, regardless of what side you're on, the news just likes to be sensational. So, I mean, we talk about it here. We talk about some of the sensational headlines, but so anything that gets clicks is what they're talking about. And these two do get clicks. And the more outrageous, the more clicky, right? So, I mean, it's stuff we know, but I get the feeling, we've talked about this at length on Patreon because I share what the comments from sugars, because I get a lot of them. And so I keep them and I share them on Patreon, and we go into it, and a lot of people over there seem to think that the sugars are like 4 teenagers that are just answering all the, writing comments, because the way they write, you guys, it's absolutely hilarious and ridiculous, and definitely has a teenage melodramatic tone. But yes, I tend to think you're right. I think it's all about sensationalism, clicky headlines, and people just believe it. They don't do their homework. You're right. And it still astonishes me because I actually understand it with some things or some people where you just don't know much. You take, what's being reported at face value. It's fine. With these two, there have been so many people like myself and you guys are exposing the lies. It's just everywhere. There's no hiding from it. So that kind of baffles me a little bit, how you can still believe people who've been proven liars more often than not. I don't understand. And as for your question, so remember the rules of the game. If we ask them these questions, they have to answer truthfully. And yeah, I want to know the same thing. What was Meghan's deal with Prince Andrew? I need to know more information there. What's the history? Is the yacht thing true? I mean, we've all heard it, but is it? Did you know Prince Andrew? How well? How did you know Prince Andrew? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What are we talking about here? I want to know that too. And also, ew. All right. And then Sharon points out every time Catherine does something, Meghan Markle has to come and try to do better. You know what? Yes, you're right. We talked about earlier how especially they like to do stuff around Catherine's birthday. It's so childish. I've just never seen adults act like this, but you're right. And you know what's funny? You know what pops in my head as soon as I read this? I'll show you. This moment right here, how could we forget? Catherine wore the most beautiful gold dress. She looked, I've just never seen anything like it. I was speechless and took my breath away, right? I could, in my wildest dreams and all the money in the world, I could not look like this. My God, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love this dress so much. Okay. So she wore this in September of 2021, right? It was the James Bond No Time to Die premiere. Hello, Daniel Craig. How you doing? Don't tell Jay. Anyway, so she wore this beautiful dress and had everybody talking about it. So what did Maggie Poo do? 2 months later, November 2021, Meghan thinks she's going to have a similar moment. and it failed spectacularly. You guys, I have talked and talked about this dress, but I feel like I need to spend a few more minutes because just go on this journey with me. Who in the world would see this dress and go, oh yeah, that's what I want. I want my spray tan really showing off. I want my boobs pulled far apart. And I want the darts to be all wrong to make it look like my nips point down. That's what I want. Oh, and you know what else? I really want to add a whole bunch of extra fabric around my midsection. Just pile it on to make me look like I've, really enjoyed Thanksgiving. I'm not body shaming Meghan. I'm really not. I'm actually talking about myself here. Like, this is the worst design I've ever seen, and I'm not even going to blame the dress designer Carolina Herrera, because I've had so many of you say that you've seen other mock-ups of this dress. It wasn't supposed to look like this, but that perhaps Meghan had it changed or whatever. This is the dress they're dressing her in. That's a lot of dress. In the Netflix special where she has all those people around her. But I'm thinking, all those people around you, and nobody said, hey girl, the back isn't fitting quite right. It's not good. You know what I mean? It just tells me she pisses off everybody around her or doesn't listen to anybody around her, and nobody will tell her the truth. But, oh, no, not good. So when you said that about, Meghan trying to upstage Catherine or however you worded it, I think of this moment right here where she might try, but she's going to fail spectacularly. My God, does she not have a mirror? And then Charlotte, hi Charlotte. Charlotte asks, hi from France. Bonjour, Charlotte. Jen, what about the profit company called Travelist? Do you really think they're going to take our data and dictate how we travel? What about the little money you declared while acting with huge companies? Charlotte, first of all, hi, I love your comments. You always write the nicest things. Thank you. But, yeah, excellent point. Excellent question. I talked about this company in a video recently, and I wish I could remember which one. I'm racking my brain. It was one of those, I believe, having to do with Quora, where people ask questions and, we talk about just what the internet's talking about. But they brought up this Travelist company. I honestly had never heard of it. You guys filled me in, and there's all kinds of shady allegations circling this that I hadn't even heard about. But I'm hesitating because I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. It had to do with, I might have the details wrong, but it's something to do with like crowdfunding a bunch of money, and then allegedly Harold just kind of kept it, something like that, or raising a bunch of capital and then keeping it, something like that. That was meant to go toward this company, or God, I don't know. I really don't know enough about this. I need to do my homework on this, so give me time to look into it. But I have heard similar. Now, what I didn't realize is that the point of it? I didn't even get into that. Like they're trying to collect data so they can make decisions on our travel. What in the world? What in the world? I'm sorry. You know what my first thought on this was? Oh, okay. So Harry got very feeling good on substances and thought, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's do that. It sounds like a terrible idea. It sounds like a way just to mine for people's data and try to sell it, if you ask me. And then Christine asks, do you take notes every time you lie in front of international audiences, Meghan? It would be easier for subsequent events. I think about this a lot too. They don't seem to, right? Because they contradict themselves constantly. And you know what else popped into my head when I read this? Did you know that allegedly with the stupid podcast, I just want to call it Archwell, but I know that's not it. It doesn't matter. The podcast that they did, she had a fact checker for that. And I got to give credit to Megyn Kelly here, because Megyn Kelly points out it's your own stories. You hired a fact checker to fact check your own stories. Like, that guy or girl is going to stay really busy because nothing they ever say is true. It never checks out. But that is odd, right? That, to me, that just tells me everything I need to know. It'd be like me hiring a fact checker for this channel because I can't keep my stories straight. how could anybody keep up with their lies? How could anybody keep their story straight? They can't keep their story straight. So the fact that they hired a fact checker, that just, oh, it's like a warm hug. I don't know. It just makes me laugh. It sticks with me. It's really funny to me. And then I just had an image in my head of what if she's up giving one of her dumbass speeches where she says a million words of nothing. What if the fact checker comes running up? No, Meghan, you're telling a different story this time. Like that person would never sleep. All right. And then Wendy brings up Lilibet was a definite shot across the Queen's bows, showing that nothing is sacred, including the special name given to the Queen. She has no boundaries and does not respect rules or authority. She's doing this all the time. Great video. Thank you so much, Wendy. I really appreciate that. And yes, that's it. We had a big conversation in the last episode about Lilibet and what's the deal with that, as well as Archie's names and why they weaponize their children's names, that sort of thing. And so, Wendy, you bring up a great point. Everything is just an opportunity to slap somebody else down, which is kind of sick if you think about it, right? If that is the case, if they're using the names to try to hurt somebody, that's pretty disgusting. They do a lot of disgusting things, but I'd say even for them, that's pretty awful. Here's my real thoughts on this one. I think Harry is so painfully stupid and delusional that he thinks it would be totally fine. He thinks he, has this wonderful relationship with the Queen. Like, he didn't do anything to cause her harm in her, final years, but I think Meghan is malicious. I think she does these things on purpose. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's way smarter than Harry, but also way more scheming than Harry. So she plotted and planned this out. I think that had to be the kid's name. If you believe there's kids, that had to be the name. Because why not use that opportunity instead of a fresh, happy start with a happy family? Why not use it to try to hurt somebody else, right? Ugh, these two are the worst. Jane brings up one of my favorite questions. Jane, you're a genius. She writes, how much does a loaf of bread cost? I started thinking about that answer and how each of them would answer it. I would say Harry says, what is bread? Is that the thing that muffins are made out of? Like, he's just so stupid. I don't think he'd be able to find bread in the grocery store. Meghan, however, would be like, I only buy Hermes bread. I only buy Givenchy bread. Oh, God, you guys. I only buy bread made out of mushrooms. I say that because of that stupid coffee with the mushroom stuff. No offense if you like mushroom coffee. I just think that sounds completely disgusting. But yeah, I don't think I don't think either of them would have a clue. I don't think they're doing the, weekly shop. All right. And then I'm never going to be able to say your name. Is it Magyar? I hope that's right. Magyar H asks, my question would be, why do you spend so much on clothes? Well, now, how much time you got? Let's talk about this. All right. So I think there's so many things going on with this. I think about this a lot too. She spends so much on clothes. I've talked about it at length. I've made videos about it. Go back and watch them. It's fascinating. It's not just a little bit more than everybody else. It's like all other European royals combined. She spent more than. It's eye-opening to see. But I think about that too. I think a lot of it has to do with the shallowness of it all, the vapidness, something to fill her hollow vessel. I'm not sure. That's the first thought that came to mind. But then I started thinking, it's like she thinks that by putting all these fancy brands on herself, we'll automatically see her as fancy. The part that blows my mind is how anybody could spend so much on clothes and just things, material things, and still look so crazy. I don't understand that. Now, this is where I give you guys all the credit in the world because you pointed out what you think is happening is, Charles was bankrolling a lot of it. And so what she would do is buy these expensive pieces not have them tailored or altered or whatever to fit her correctly. That's why she always looked a mess. But then would resell them, or however you do that where you get cash back, basically. I'm thinking, was she on the real, something like that? She had her people selling them. I don't know. But I suspect you might be on the right track there. I'm really not sure. I think about that one a lot too. But I just go back to I think she thinks the labels elevate her in a way. I also think it has to do with the look at me of it all, right? It's a way to get people to talk about her, to look at her, to notice her. She thinks by wearing these expensive outfits, it's just another way to keep herself in the headlines as well. So I think there's a lot of factors at play there. But I don't understand, though, the horrible fit of every single outfit. All I can go back to on that is to think she had access to all the people that could help tailor things, fix things, build things, make things, whatever it is. But if you think you know better than all of them and you won't take their advice, then you end up looking like Meghan. I'm not sure. P.S. asks, why did you wear that ugly green dress and the helmet hat, which was not even appropriate color for Commonwealth Day service? I gotta give HG Tudor, I love his channel, a shout out here because he named it Kermit Goes to Church, and that's all I can think of. It's not easy being green. You guys, this outfit is one of the worst, and that's saying something because she wears a lot of terrible things. Don't worry, I have more pictures coming, but I think about this too. I had actually posed it, I believe, to the Patreon group. I may have even asked you guys. I thought I really wanted to do a video, and it's still on the back burner, about the times where Meghan made a statement with her clothing. And I don't mean like yikes, because that is a statement she often makes with her clothing. I mean like this, like you say, it's Commonwealth service. So you would traditionally wear like the blues, the reds, stuff like that. But nope, she wore green. So the other example that pops into my head as I show you this awful dress, you guys, the bra. What the hell is with her foundation garments? Get a bra, not a strapless bra, a real bra that holds them up and doesn't look like this under clothes. There's a little tip. Anyway, do you not own a mirror? Okay, so I lost my train of thought. The statements with clothing. Okay, so the thing that pops into my head with that, my God, this picture. The thing that pops in my head with that is, do you remember, I believe, oh gosh, which baby was it? Was it baby Louis? It may have been Charlotte. One of the baby's christenings. I guess the women were asked to wear shades of cream, I believe, and Meghan wore olive. So if I can cut through the BS like I like to do, I'm going to say Meghan likes to use her clothes to say F you. Meghan likes to use everything to say F you. She still sees herself as this victim, with all these grievances. So she's going to use clothes to give the royal family a middle finger. It really makes no sense. I think she's a spoiled, classless, tacky brat, and she's making a statement with her clothes, thinking, look how clever I am. Nobody's going to get what I'm doing here. It's like, no, we all see through you, and we think you're ridiculous. Just in Case asks, how old are you? No, really. I love the way you worded that very much. Yeah, same question. I've heard so many conflicting reports. My guess is mid-40s, but who knows? They don't tell the truth on anything. She never, ever does. My further follow-up question is, does Harry know her real age? I doubt it. I really do. It does strike me funny that I do think she's older than she's pretending to be. But I also think she acts like a child. I mean, look at this picture here. Like a pouty preteen here with her toilet paper hat. Just in Case also asks, have you ever had a proper bra fitting? Oh my God, I didn't read these ahead of time. I mean, I'd read them a couple days ago, but I didn't know what order. I just started screenshotting. So when I talked about the bra a few minutes ago, I didn't know this was coming up. But ding, 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 same question. See picture for details. What is happening? Why does she wear strapless bras with everything? She sure does love a boat neck. So I suspect it has something to do with that. Like maybe in this ridiculous outfit it might have shown straps, but since when does she care about that? Get a proper bra, get a fitting. Again, she had access to everybody. There's got to be royal undergarment people. I don't know, people that handle that sort of thing. Talk to them. What is this? This is horrible, you guys. I cannot. And the boat net thing, I've said it before. I actually like boat necks. I do on certain people. I think if you're broad shouldered, and again, I can't stand Meghan Markle, but I'm really not trying to body shame her. Whatever. She can't help how she's built, but know how to dress for your body. I think if you're broad shouldered, maybe boat neck isn't the way to go, but she sure as shit loves them with these stupid bras underneath. And I don't understand why. And again, mirror. Do you not look in the mirror? Do you not see it? Does she just say, mirror, mirror, I'm the greatest, and then punch it and walk out the door? I don't know. Julia asks, why are there no birth records? Where was your mom for 10 years? And not my business, but strange that you don't give your dad no mind. Sorry, that you give your dad no mind. Yeah, same. The birth stuff. I didn't, like, when I first took on this Harry and Meghan stuff, I didn't actually like to go into the birth stuff because I just didn't know enough about it, and it just seemed unnecessarily cruel. You know, I never want to cross into unnecessarily cruel, and I was afraid I was. But it's like the more shady they are about this stuff, the more lies they tell, the more mystery, whatever that they want to spin, the more I am fascinated by it. And I think they know that. I think they do that shit on purpose. But it is weird, right? The whole birth thing and just the differences, how they followed no royal protocol. They didn't have the same witness situation that are typically done. The whole thing's so bizarre. I don't have an answer for that, but I wish I did. I want to ask him that question too. What the hell is going on there? If it's a surrogate, just come clean. I know they never would, but I'm just saying, like, come clean about it. Just tell us, because you're acting nuts. It's like they do these things, they act nuts, and then they want us to talk about them, but only on their terms. They don't want us to talk about the nutty behavior. Ruth Ellen brings up such a good question. I love where you're going with this. I think this is an excellent question. It says, I'd ask her, how did you ever think belittling everybody was a path to achieving your hopes and dreams? Same question. Did she think that the stories just wouldn't get out? Is that what it is? Or that she could outsmart everybody? That's what I suspect. But yeah, if you have a history of treating people terribly, how do you think that's not going to come around and bite you in the ass? I guess I think the kind of person that could treat people terribly just wouldn't think like that. But I love your question so much. I don't even know how to tackle that one, because I don't think a sane and logical person could answer that question. That's disgusting behavior. And again, we've seen stories of it in every book we've read. You know, people have come forward with stories of it. I just want them to release those bullying reports so we can really talk about it. But yeah, that's an excellent question, excellent point. And then Sharon points out her eyes are so dead, almost eerie, in fact. Gives me the chills. Ooh, me too, Sharon. Look at this. This picture is nightmare fuel. It haunts my soul. It scares me, and I got the chills. But seriously, I don't even know how you make your eyes do that. I don't understand it at all. But yeah, there's a good example of it. Well, guys, I have talked for nearly an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up on this scary, scary dead-eyed, or I call it dead shark stare. Whew, scary.